I'm sorry, I accidentally saw something I shouldn't have, and it's been weighing on my mind. She looked upset, and I feel terrible about it. The image is stuck in my head, and it's had a significant impact on me. My name is Taylor Mason. After graduating, I joined the workforce like many others. There's still a lot for me to learn at work, and my boss is quite demanding. I'm often scolded for making the same mistakes repeatedly. Mason, you've made another mistake. How many times now? I'm sorry. I'm the weakest performer among my colleagues. I've always struggled with managing multiple tasks, leading to more errors when the workload is high. I get yelled at constantly, and I can't help but wonder how it came to this. In university, all I had to do was understand the lectures, so my grades were good. In the real world, I soon realized that my expectations were misguided. In fact, I was just a low-level employee prone to making errors, and this realization filled me with self-loathing. One evening, carrying this emotional burden, I stopped at a convenience store on my way home and bought a microwavable meal, lacking the energy to cook for myself. As usual, I returned to my small apartment late at night, with no one around. Stepping through the door, I was greeted by an unexpected visitor, a cat. The feline appeared well-groomed, suggesting it belonged to someone. Before I could react, the cat strolled into my apartment. "Hey, you can't just come in like that," I exclaimed, but my neighbor's voice interrupted me. "Fluffy, come back," she called out, rushing out of her apartment in a warm sports bra. I turned to face her, rendered speechless by the unexpected encounter. The woman's outfit left little to the imagination, momentarily startling me. But once I saw her feline companion strolling in, her swift apology quickly set my mind at ease. Her cat had simply wandered into my space, and she was quick to take responsibility. "Oops, my apologies," she exclaimed, realizing she was only in her undergarments and feeling her face flush. "That's my furry friend. Let me get him out of there right away." With that, she scurried back into her home, emerging moments later, donning a hoodie over her activewear. I didn't want the cat to come to any harm in my space, but I also felt uneasy about inviting a stranger inside at night. "I'll try to retrieve the cat. Please wait here for me," I replied. My attempts to capture the feline proved futile. Catching a cat can be quite the challenge, it seems. Reluctantly, I had to request the woman's assistance. To my surprise, the cat willingly complied as she carefully retrieved it. "Sincerest apologies for the inconvenience. I'll make it up to you another time," she said, departing as the evening grew late. Her attire certainly was unique. The following Saturday, the woman returned, bringing along some delectable treats as a gesture of goodwill. Yesterday, I welcomed Julia Roberts, a college student, into my room. She seemed a bit flustered, explaining that her cat, Fluffy, had escaped to the balcony, and in the process had left her with some scratches. She was a bit embarrassed by her appearance, but I assured her not to worry about it. Cats can be quite mischievous, and their scratching habits can certainly take a toll on our clothes. As she was leaving, Julia's bag unexpectedly tipped over, and its contents scattered across the floor. I quickly moved to help her gather the papers, concerned about the situation. Despite the minor inconvenience, I appreciated Julia's visit and hoped that Fluffy was safe and sound. The university had sent her numerous notices about retaking exams. As I glimpsed the papers, I grew concerned about her academic progress and the potential impact on earning her credits. The sheer volume of re-examination requirements was troubling, raising questions about the challenges she might be facing in her studies. "Did you spot it?" "Yes, I'm truly sorry." I sincerely expressed regret. At this, Julia's face flushed even deeper than when she had been seen in her undergarments. She was on the verge of tears. "Everyone says college is easy if you attend lectures, but it's impossible for me. I'm just not smart enough." Overwhelmed with emotion, Julia collapsed right where she stood. It seemed her academic performance was severely poor, putting not only graduation, but even progressing to the next level in Jeopardy. She had always been mocked for her poor grades, and it appeared she had developed a complex or even a trauma about it. Well, if you'd like, I could assist you with your studies. Ah, no. You see, I attended the same university and took the same courses you're retaking. What a coincidence. Julia was enrolled at the same institution I had attended, making her my junior. Juliet eagerly accepted my offer. It seemed she had tried seeking help from her friends before, but kept making the same mistakes, and they had given up on her. Based on the subject, there are certain strategies and approaches that can be helpful. If I could share those with her, perhaps she might find a way to succeed. So, we agreed to have a weekly study session every Saturday. After seeing the alarming number of exams she needed to retake, I grew increasingly concerned and couldn't stop thinking about it. I finished work, picked up dinner on the way home, and arrived a bit later than usual. I had planned to use our Saturday session as a break, but Julia's creativity and problem-solving skills exceeded my expectations. She consistently came up with solutions that left me puzzled. Clearly, our weekly meetings were not sufficient. As a result, I decided to add extra study sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Julia's place. This was also because Julia offered, "Let me cook dinner as a way to thank you for the study sessions." Teaching someone is a form of learning for oneself, so I made a conscious effort to explain the concepts that seemed challenging for Julia in a manner that was easy for her to grasp. Julia appeared to be dedicated to her studies in her own unique way, and her grades gradually started to improve. Becoming more aware of my surroundings led to a decrease in my minor errors. I was able to go through more days without being scolded, and faced fewer challenging moments at my job. Then, 6 months later, I did it. I didn't have any resits anymore. Finally, Julia was freed from the hell of resits. Julia was able to understand a lecture after 6 months of study, and she no longer needed my help. It felt a little lonely, but I should be genuinely happy for her growth. Well done, you worked really hard. If you don't understand something, tell me, okay? Yes, thank you. The study meetings ended with that, but the habit of meeting for half a year didn't just disappear. So I had the chance to eat Julia's dinners occasionally, and I also invited her for meals. We also talked about things like what kind of company to work for and other life advice. A few months passed like this, and Julia was able to move up a grade. I was thinking of giving her a present to celebrate her advancement. Just as I was thinking about this while heading to work, there was something on my desk. It was a document, but not just any document. A personnel change, and I'm the new secretary to the president. I was dumbfounded by the document informing me of an unexpected personnel change. Suddenly, my boss patted my shoulder, and I jumped. "The president is calling for you. Follow me." With that, my heart was about to jump out of my chest. What did I do? I desperately tried to remember, but I couldn't think of anything. I made my way to the president's office with a stiff body. There were guests in the president's office besides the president. It seemed that I had been called to the president's office because these guests wanted to see me. "Sorry for calling you all of a sudden. These are the owners of Roberts, our business partners," the president introduced. I bowed my head. "Wait, Roberts? That's the same surname as Julia. What a coincidence." As I sat on the sofa as directed, the Roberts couple smiled at me. "Nice to meet you. We are from Roberts Incorporated. No, let's leave the title aside. We came here as parents to thank you and ask you a favor." The president of Roberts said to me. I was completely lost for words and just stared blankly. "Actually, the Julia you've been tutoring is our daughter. We heard that she was able to move up a grade thanks to your help. Thank you so much." No. It was all thanks to Julia's efforts that she was able to move up a grade. So, it turned out that Julia was the president's daughter. I had no idea. I was just surprised. According to Mr. Peterson, the CEO, Julia had her pride and wanted to fend for herself without depending on her parents. It seemed that she started living on her own because of this. I heard about you from my daughter. I wanted to express my gratitude for everything you've done for her, and I apologize for the inconvenience, but would you please continue to help her with her studies? He said. With these words, both the CEO and his wife bowed deeply in thanks. Do you what? Please lift your heads, I protested. Being shown such respect by the CEO, a man like me, just an ordinary employee, felt quite awkward. After a few insistences, they finally raised their heads. Apparently, Julia had always had bad grades since she was young. She had received tutoring from various people, but it seems the only one who could make a real difference was me. Julia trusted me, and the ridiculous personnel change that made me the CEO's secretary happened so that it would be easier for me to adjust my work schedule. Our CEO was quite capable, so he didn't need an assistant. His permission allowed me to go to Julia's place at any time. I did not have the privilege to seek shelter from this situation. But why did the executive go to such great lengths? Was it solely because they cherished this professional connection that deeply? Interestingly, the executive and I have been close friends since childhood, what you might call best pals. I've known Julia since she was young, and like everyone else, I've been concerned about her academic struggles. The executive, noticing my confusion, kindly explained our relationship. It seems that when Julia was in high school, the executive used to oversee her studies. She managed to pass her college entrance exams, but ended up in a sort of academic limbo. Although my department has changed, my salary has remained the same, so it's a win-win situation for me, or at least it should be. However, this lack of a right to refuge has shown me the daunting power that adults with authority possess. It was agreed that I would be responsible for Julia's care, with the approval of both our families and the company. Julia's academic performance has improved somewhat, but I cannot let my guard down. The bond between us blossomed right after we advanced to the next chapter of our lives. Your assistance has been invaluable, and I'm grateful for it. Julia seemed a bit self-conscious at first, but I felt a sense of connection. We supported each other, and before long, she became my wife. Life can surprise us in the most unexpected ways. The woman I initially saw in a vulnerable state is now my life partner. However, Julia still seems more concerned about the numerous remedial notices than the memory of that first encounter. Playfully, she asks me to take accountability, while also requesting my help with her studies. Yet this time, the focus is not on academic topics, but rather on developing professional conduct and essential knowledge for working adults. The CEO was equally delighted. Who would have thought that Julia would grow so much? He is an exceptional individual who single-handedly founded the company and continues to propel it forward, achieving levels of performance that even a seasoned CEO would find challenging. But perhaps it's best to keep that information hidden away. Remaining unaware may prove the wiser choice. Living my life joyfully now, but the trigger that led me to discover Julia's retake notices was when Fluffy entered my room. In that way, I should be grateful to Fluffy for visiting my room. Meow. The matchmaker of our romance spent another day nestled under the warm sunlight. Rip, rip. As soon as I handed them the crucial manual I had written, it was ripped to pieces. You are incredibly obnoxious. Even my warnings of caution were repeatedly dismissed outright. None of my recommendations was taken seriously by the new boss. But I believed that things will change if I could just persevere and keep trying. That's what I thought as I continued to move forward. You've been fired. I don't want to see you here tomorrow because you're getting in my way. The new boss's notice of termination echoed across the workplace. Though their hearts were with me, everyone's eyes were on him. How do I handle this, Sam? Oh, before sending it out, just make sure with the client. Verify? I take it you mean by phone. I still haven't gotten used to answering calls. When I first started, I wasn't very good at it either. After every call, you'll get the hang of it. Don't be concerned. All right, I'll try my hardest. I'm Sam Harrison, and I'm 39 years old. My name is fairly well known in this field. I am employed as a tax accountant at Top Tax Advisors. I was just speaking with Ivan, one of the recent hires. She recently graduated from college and is a first-year employee. Her English and business manners are still very awkward, giving the impression that she is inexperienced and new. That's how I used to be too. I started working for the company 17 years ago, right out of college, and had no idea what I was doing. Back then, I learned a lot from Mr. Harris, the current manager. Because I had no idea what I was doing, I remember apologizing to everyone all the time. However, Mr. Harris was always understanding and gave me step-by-step instructions. He gave me advice on everything from how to perform my duties to how to interact with clients and even how to take occasional breaks. Hey Sam, nobody is good at this right from the beginning. In the same way, my elders taught me the ropes. Make mistakes now. Take in as much as possible. I want you to share what you've learned with your juniors someday. But I'm sure I'll still pick up a lot of knowledge from you newbies. I keep those remarks from Mr. Harris in mind whenever I instruct my juniors. I've never been excellent at academics, and I had no idea that there was such a job as a tax accountant. Whenever I started a workbook, I would get drowsy right away. I consistently received poor scores on school assessments. My mother was worried and requested Kyle, who lived close by, to instruct me. Kai was the moniker Kyle had gotten from playing with me as a child. He vanished for a while, then he returned as a certified public accountant. Hi, Sam. It's been a while. I've heard that you detest studying. After all this time, Kai, that's the first thing you say to me. I'd like to study while I'm at it. Yes, Kai was an excellent teacher who understood how to strike a balance between discipline and incentives. Kai would talk about his job as a tax accountant whenever I was feeling down. Even though his stories were frequently intricate, I couldn't help but wonder if the work was truly that rewarding after witnessing the emotion in his eyes. My exam scores steadily increased as I listened to him discuss his work, and before I realized it, I was no longer failing. When my pals saw this, they began to inquire, "What sort of magic did you use? Would you be able to teach me how to study?" Kai showed me the value of education and the fulfillment that comes from instructing others. My desire to become a tax accountant also grew as I became more interested in the work he was performing. I passed the tax accountant exam with Kay's occasional study assistance. After I started working for the company, Mr. Harris helped me learn the nuances of the work, and I gradually began to advance my accounting abilities. Although I didn't have a fantastic sales record at first, I truly enjoyed establishing rapport with clients through dialogue. Before I knew it, clients were telling me things like, "My daughter just had a baby," or "Should I introduce you to someone nice?" in casual conversations. As we developed these connections, those customers started recommending me to other companies. With the support of those in my immediate vicinity, my sales figures steadily increased. I had kids of my own by the time I figured things out. Before I knew it, I had been given a mentorship assignment. I shared my personal experiences to help mentor the next generation, keeping in mind the lessons I had learned from Mr. Harris. Listen, Sam. Today, I received my first contract. Whoa, that's fantastic. Seeing you truly made an attempt. Well, it's all because of what you taught me. Let's have supper together tonight, Sam. I'm to blame. No. To commemorate your first deal, allow me to give you a treat. My juniors excelled in independent thought, knowledge sharing, and building a cohesive team where everyone supported one another. They would come to me to talk about their accomplishments or worries. Knowing they depended on me made me happy. We ultimately brought on a new employee as the hectic yet rewarding days passed. Hey everybody, this is Kevin. He will begin working with us today. My name is Kevin, and I recently started working as the manager of the sales department. I'm excited to collaborate with everyone. Manager Kevin, ask Sam for assistance if you need it. Kevin Carter, a 25-year-old new hire, has been assigned to our team. I asked Mr. Harris about him because he appeared so youthful. As it happens, Kevin was fresh to the field and had recently passed the tax accountant exam. Why is a recent exam passee with virtually no practical experience being promoted to department manager, Mr. Harris? He must first learn the job. He will exhaust himself. In actuality, Kevin is my former mentor's son. I was requested to take him on after he tried to get into a few firms, but none of them worked out. That does not, however, imply that he ought to be promoted to manager. I had the same impression, but when I consider Mr. Carter, I apologize for making this decision alone. I would like you to help Kevin. You're an excellent teacher. I'll have Kevin concentrate on learning the fundamentals for the time being, Mr. Harris. Don't worry, Andrew will still be my go-to person for managerial tasks. Just give Kevin some guidance. I had no reason to say no if Mr. Harris asked. Kevin was a new employee regardless of his experience. He was likely as nervous and perplexed as any new employee. I would start by teaching him the fundamentals and getting to know him as a person. I'll begin by demonstrating the fundamental tasks for you, Kevin. Phone help is handled by whoever is available because we receive a lot of calls from clients. Have you previously done that? Never. All right, let me demonstrate how to do it. Could you try the next time? Hold on, I'm the manager here. That's correct. Then I shouldn't be performing the tasks that regular employees perform, am I correct? Why are you speaking to me in such a casual manner when you are the manager and this is your first job as a tax accountant? You are subordinate to me since I am the manager here. Be respectful. I apologize. Since I'm the manager, you handle the routine duties. Again, what's your name? Sam. Yes, you take care of everything for me. Kevin ignored everything I suggested and ended up being far more arrogant than I had anticipated. Since I had a lower position than him, his father, Mr. Harris' mentor, was now a college director with connections everywhere. Kevin had been using his father's name to push his way through whatever he wanted, but I wasn't about to give up after just one setback. I kept looking for chances to teach Kevin, offering guidance and giving him manuals whenever I could. Each time, though, I was met with harsh replies. I told you I'm not doing it. If you had time to make this manual, you could have spent it doing some actual sales calls, don't you think? Whether he found my persistence annoying or had disliked me from the start, Kevin began harassing me. He'd call me over while I was talking with other juniors, telling me to go get lunch or check these documents, assigning me menial tasks. Loud enough for me to hear, he'd say things like, "Nice try scoring points," or "What a sad old man." I thought I was somewhat used to handling complaints that came into the office, but hearing such direct insults still hit hard. After another round of harassment, I took a break in the lounge with a cup of coffee when my coworker and old friend, Kenneth, approached me. "Hey, Kenneth, it's rare for you to come here, especially since you're an admin. I had a question about the accounting software, though honestly, that was just an excuse to check on you. You heard something. Word is that our top mentor, you're struggling. How are you holding up?" "Well, yeah, it's been tough, but I'll manage." "If you ever can't, make sure to speak up." "Thanks, I appreciate it." After a few more words, Kenneth returned to his department. Kenneth was my closest friend in the office. We always went out for drinks when something came up. Knowing that someone cared about me was a great source of strength. The next day and the day after, I continued trying to teach Kevin about the job and handling paperwork, but all I got in return were more insults. Though I never got angry at someone so much younger than me, my other juniors were starting to get visibly frustrated. What's up with him? Sam handles all his sales targets and more, and still gets treated like that. Calm down. No, I agree with her. That guy doesn't even know how great you are. Scene, calm down. I'm fine. Okay, if you say so, but we're not okay with it. By the way, About that document for the tax office, it's a bit tricky and really important, so if you're unsure, feel free to ask me. I was just about to ask you about it. That's unfair. I want to learn too, one at a time. As tax accountants, we handle tax representation, document preparation, and accounting work, everything tied to money. Even one mistake on a form could lead to significant losses. If there's an error, we could face huge damages and lose the client's trust. That's why we always approach every document with great care. When my juniors prepare documents, I make sure to double-check everything before submission. I'd better remind Kevin too. Kevin, have you finished the document due next week? It can be confusing for a first-timer, so I can help you go over it. Annoying. Sorry, what I said. It's fine. I already finished it ages ago. That's impressive. Let me take a look at it. Even one mistake could lead to liability issues. I told you. It's fine. I got it. In the end, Kevin never showed me the document. I hoped it would turn out okay. Even the day before the deadline, I tried reaching out, but he shrugged me off again. I had no choice but to hope he managed it somehow. About a little while after the submission, Mr. Harris came rushing into the sales department, out of breath. A rare sight. Kevin, the document you submitted the other day had errors. What didn't you consult Sam about how important that form is? How are you going to fix this? Your mistake is going to cost us tens of thousands of dollars. I was going to ask Sam, but he ignored me. It's all his fault. Is that true, Sam? No, Sam's been ignoring me since I joined. Every time I tried to do something, he blocked me. I'm using my authority as department manager to fire him. He's out. Mr. Harris looked like he wanted to say something, but perhaps out of deference to his mentor, he didn't speak up. My juniors wanted to take my case to upper management, but I told them not to. I explained that Kevin might retaliate and that they still had a lot to learn here. Maybe this was fate. As much as I cared for my juniors, it seemed there was nothing left for me to do in this office. That same day, I packed up my personal belongings. As I was leaving the office for the last time, Mr. Harris called out to me. I'm sorry. It's all right. I'm just glad I had you as my mentor, Mr. Harris. With those words, I left the office that had meant so much to me. Since Kevin arrived, every day had felt like a whirlwind. Though I couldn't even call what I did for him mentoring. I was so worn out that I didn't even feel angry anymore. Leaving a job I loved, not by my own choice, left me feeling sad and unsettled. A storm of mixed emotions swirled inside me. Even now, I'm hungry. Guess that means I'm still alive. Come to think of it, I hadn't had a proper meal in a while. Since I don't have to go to work tomorrow, I might as well grab something to eat. Just then, a ramen shop caught my eye. The banner out front read Garlic Ramen. I'd avoided garlic since I interacted with people all the time in sales, but now I wouldn't be talking to anyone for a while. All right, let's go all out with garlic tonight. Welcome. Just one? Take any open seat. What can I get for you? I'll have the garlic ramen with extra garlic and some gyoza too. Got it. The energy of the ramen shop staff was almost overwhelming. It had been years since I'd been to a ramen shop. As I drank my water, I felt the heat and unspoken words that had built up inside me drain away. Before I knew it, the garlic-packed ramen and gyoza were in front of me. I clasped my hands together and dove in, devouring the meal with gusto. Hey, you've got a great appetite. Did something good happen? Hot. You were eating like it was the best thing ever. Oh, hot. I guess it's because it's been a while since I've had garlic ramen. Last time, it's really good. Thanks a lot. The friendly ramen shop staff and the delicious food made me feel my whole body being cleansed of the heaviness that had weighed me down. No use dwelling on things. That's right. I can make something new. Once I stopped worrying, New thoughts started filling my mind. No time like the present. After enjoying my meal at the ramen shop, I immediately went to visit the clients I'd built relationships with during my time at Top Tax Advisors. These were people I had been working with since I first joined the company. They listened to me with genuine concern. "You quit, Sam? What happened? If there's anything we can do, just say the word. I don't know if it'll help, but take this with you." I was overwhelmed by their warmth and kindness. At the same time, I greeted my clients, and I also shared my plans for the future. Many of them responded with, "If you ever need help, I'd love to support you." I was truly grateful. Once I got home, I started preparing for the new venture that had taken root in my mind. 1 month later. It's done. Yes, I had successfully opened my own office. I created flyers and built a website. I'd also posted job listings on recruitment sites, so hopefully, applicants will start coming in soon. Ring, ring, ring. Could it be already? "Hello, this is Harrison Tax Office." "Sam, long time, no talk." Voice: "Yvonne." "Yes, what's going on?" "Well, after you left, we all quit too." "All?" "Yep, so please hire us at your office." "What? No way." As I listened to her explain, it turned out that after I left, my junior's motivation dropped. Seeing that, Kevin started throwing around harsh words that went way beyond encouragement. He began harassing them the same way he had done to me. Unable to bear it, my juniors had found out through clients that I had started my own office, and here we were. I decided to take them on as new employees. They worked with the energy of plants finally getting sunlight and water after a long drought. Soon, clients I had worked with before started reaching out to my new office as well. Every day became busy fulfilling their needs. Then one day, my old friend Kenneth from Top Tax Advisors showed up. "Hey, you traitor. You didn't even say goodbye, let alone tell me you were starting something new." "Sorry. Things got so hectic I forgot." "Yeah, I figured as much. I told you to let me know if things went south. Here, this is a gift for your independence." "Thanks, man. How's it going over there?" "Well, things have been rough in the sales department since you left." Kenneth then told me what happened after I quit. Apparently, my clients were split between the juniors, Mr. Harris, and Kevin, but Kevin's handling often led to complaints. The workload became too much, and mistakes started piling up. Mr. Harris had to personally deal with Kevin's errors and all the complaints that followed, eventually leading to him being hospitalized with acute gastritis. "Mr. Harris, he's in the hospital. So what's going to happen to the sales department? With Mr. Harris out, there's no one who can really run the department, so they're thinking about shutting it down." "I see. Why do you look so down about it?" "It's just I learned so much there." "Do you know which hospital Mr. Harris is in?" "Man, I'm in the admin department. I know everything about our employees. You planning to visit him?" "Yeah." After chatting for a while, we made plans to grab drinks sometime, and Kenneth had it out on my next day off. I used the information Kenneth gave me to visit Mr. Harris at the hospital. It was a big hospital, and Mr. Harris had his own private room. I knocked on the door and heard his voice from inside. "Sam, long time no see. I heard from Kenneth that you were in the hospital. Are you okay?" "Yeah, it's something I brought on myself. But I hear you've started your own office. How's it going?" "It's going all right. Somehow managing. Yvonne, Shan, and the others, are they doing well?" "Mr. Harris, you knew?" "I knew. I'm the one who told them to go to you." "Really? I didn't know that. I put you through a lot all because of my mentor. I'm truly sorry." "Mr. Harris, you already apologized when I left the office." "Did I?" We talked for a while about recent events and reminisced about the old days when I first joined as a new hire. Mr. Harris was still the same respected mentor I had always looked up to. Before I knew it, the day had turned to dusk. I'll come by again. With that, I left his hospital room. After talking with Mr. Harris, I felt even more motivated and threw myself into my work. I focused on training my juniors and developing new clients. There was always something to do while managing the staff schedules. I used any free time to hold training sessions to help everyone improve their skills as tax accountants. I let my juniors take turns preparing the training so they could better grasp the material. They were enthusiastic and vibrant, just like Kai had been all those years ago. Though my office was smaller than the one I had worked at before, we had built stable relationships with our clients. I assigned clients to my juniors, stepping in to assist when needed. This allowed them to learn the ropes as tax accountants while fostering trust with their clients. Some even found common ground, like when one junior discovered he had gone to the same school as a client's daughter, leading to lively conversations. Other times, a client would bring throat lozenges for a junior who had a cold. Each junior was developing strong relationships with their clients using their unique strengths. We feel confident leaving everything in Sam's hands. I haven't seen that young one recently. Is he doing all right? Make sure Sam and his team eat these. We had a great harvest, so many vegetables. I received many warm words and gestures. With so much help from those around me, I tackled each day with determination. Before I knew it, my office had gained quite the reputation among peers in the industry. I hear Harrison Tax Office is known for its excellent training. Yeah, I heard they have great in-house training programs, and you can level up your skills quickly. This buzz even brought in people interested in interviews. Bit by bit, more people gathered, and my office grew larger. Now that we've gotten this big, what's up, Sam? Why are you grumbling? Oh, Yvonne. Well, with the increase in staff and contracts, I'm worried the workload might be getting too heavy for everyone. Yeah, I think our overtime hours have gone up a bit. That's what I figured. But I've been posting jobs on the recruitment sites. Then how about this? Yvonne handed me a flyer. Looking for a change? Now's the time. Find your next opportunity at the Job Change Fair. Wait, is this? It's for a career fair. Where did you get this? It came in a sales email recently. The flyer was attached, and I thought with all the new contracts coming in, this might be a good way to recruit more people. I meant to mention it to you, but I kind of forgot. A career fair? Huh, that's a great idea. Let's give it a try. Got it. With Yvonne's suggestion, we decided to participate in the career fair. Along with our daily tasks, we were busy preparing for the job fair. It was tough, but everyone worked hard without a single complaint. The late-night work sessions reminded us of school festivals, and I think the atmosphere made everyone a bit more excited than usual. Finally, the day of the fair arrived. As we set up our booth, I noticed Yvonne's expression darkening. Yvonne, what's wrong? Are you feeling sick? Sam, there's someone here I really don't want to see. I followed her gaze and saw Kevin. He was at the fair too, but his face was somber, and he seemed to have lost the spark he once had. Seeing him like that, I couldn't help but feel concerned. Yvonne, can you handle the booth for a bit? What? Sam, are you seriously going over there? You should just leave him alone. I can't ignore him. I was once responsible for mentoring him. All right, I'll take care of things here, but please come back soon. Okay, I will. Thanks. I left the booth in Yvonne's hands and headed toward Kevin. When he saw me, Kevin looked surprised for a moment, then quickly lowered his head. Long time no see, Kevin. What do you want? I saw you from a distance and noticed you didn't seem well. At that, Kevin's shoulders started shaking, and tears rolled down his face. He slowly began to speak, haltingly. After I left, he realized how much he couldn't do on his own, and that he'd only managed before because I had been there to support him. I passed the tax accountant exam and felt like I could do anything. My dad praised me so much. I thought I didn't need anyone, especially after you left. I thought I could handle it all by myself. I see, but in the real world, things didn't go like I thought. I ran into situations I wasn't prepared for, and complaints came in because of my attitude. Mr. Harris didn't say anything, maybe because of my dad, but the sales department is gone now, and everyone's saying it's my fault. As I listened to Kevin, I learned that he was the long-awaited child of the Carter family, cherished by everyone. Neither his parents nor his grandparents had ever scolded him, letting him do whatever he wanted. Apparently, they would praise him even for the smallest things. Because of that, Kevin has become quite prideful and developed a bit of an arrogant streak. This whole experience made me realize I don't have any real ability. I want to change that and develop my skills, but I got into the firm because of my dad's connections. This time, I want to earn a place somewhere on my own. So that's why you're here. Yeah, Kevin, if you're willing, why not come work at my office? What are you crazy? I'm the one who got you fired. You were someone I was tasked with mentoring. I feel like I bear some responsibility for your actions too. How about it? We're actually short-staffed at the moment. If you're up for it, please let me join. I'm glad to hear that. Let's head back to our booth so I can explain everything to you. I took Kevin by the arm and led him to our booth. Yvonne furrowed her brows at first, but when Kevin apologized, she looked completely stunned. Clearing her throat, she began explaining our firm in detail. By then, Kevin's tears had long dried, and he clutched a pen and notepad, listening intently to Yvonne and making sure not to miss a single word. And just like that, we gained a new team member at our office. Since most of our employees already knew Kevin, they too initially greeted him with frowns. But much like Yvonne, they were left speechless when he apologized to them. Kevin, how about joining me for some client visits today? Got it. Shouldn't it be yes, ma'am? Come on, Yvonne. Sam may be kind, but I'm going to be strict. I'm the senior here. So bossy. I heard that, Kevin. Sorry. All right, Yvonne. Calm down. Wasn't Eric supposed to come by today? Oh, that's right. I'm heading out with Kevin for making the rounds, so take care. If anything happens, make sure to let me know. Got it. Kevin, make sure to watch Sam closely and learn from him. Yeah, I got it. Kevin slowly gained more confidence as he worked alongside his senior colleagues, and after a month, he was able to land his first contract on his own. Kevin worked hard to make sure he lived up to what he told me at the job fair. He actively participated in company training sessions, even stepping up to lead some of them. When I think back to the time he worked at his previous office, it's like he's a completely different person now. When I mentioned this to Mr. Harris, his eyes lit up with pride, almost as if he were talking about his own son. I see, he really worked hard, didn't he said. I also mentioned it to Kenneth, and he seriously asked, what kind of magic did you use? Word spread quickly about our office's strong commitment to nurturing young talent, and before long, we became the #1 tax office in the area that new hires wanted to join. As more new employees joined, Kevin took on the role of mentor, helping train the younger staff. When Kevin first trained a junior employee, we went out for a meal together afterward. It's my first time teaching someone anything, and today the junior I was mentoring thanked me, Kevin said. What did they say? They said thank you. Hearing that, it almost made me cry. I see, that's wonderful. Teaching someone is actually a lot more fun than I thought. I learned that same joy from an older guy in the neighborhood when I was younger. That guy must have been amazing. As Kevin and I talked about different things, I remembered something Mr. Harris had once said. We actually learn a lot from you newcomers as well. Talking with Yvonne, Kevin, and the other juniors often reminded me of things I used to feel and think. Yes, I was the same way back then. Conversations with the juniors always brought me back to those early days. After some time had passed since I established Harrison Tax Office, the juniors I had mentored started training the newly hired employees. The juniors they trained supported one another while building their own relationships with clients. Scene, who had rushed to join us along with Ivan, seemed to struggle with his sales performance, possibly because he was dedicating too much time to training his juniors. Noticing this, Yvonne and Kevin helped with Sean's mentoring duties, taking turns to support him. Thanks to their help, Sean managed to secure a new contract. "Sam, I landed a contract. Isn't it because we helped you out? Can't you let me look good just this once?" One of the juniors you're mentoring said my explanations were easier to understand. "Should we just take over for you?" "What? Hey, I appreciate the help, but those are my juniors you're trying to handle too much. Scene, you're going to burn out." "Oh my, have you started worrying about others now?" "Sam, why are you laughing?" "I'm just thinking about how dependable you've become." The juniors had grown even more than I had expected. There's no limit to human potential. Everyone has some kind of strength. As a mentor, it's our job to create an environment where they can discover that strength and use it to its fullest potential. Things don't always go smoothly, but rather than trying to handle everything on your own, it's okay to ask for help and move forward at your own pace. Some people try to take on everything themselves, leaving no room for escape, but that approach won't last in the long run. I value my own pace, and today, I continue to nurture new talent while helping and supporting my juniors and those around me.